Hello, everyone. Thank you all for joining us during your lunch break and welcome to Beyond Insights 16th Anniversary Lunch Talk. My name is Ningshen and I'll be your host for today. Now, before we jump in, I'd love for everyone to turn on your cameras. Thank you so much, Joey. You've already turned on your camera. And I love for everyone, more people to do so as well, because it's always lovely to see all of your faces, all right? And as you know, as I'm sure that I really hope that you all already know, this year's theme is about 16 years of enrichment. And how many of you attended Terence's session yesterday on the grit blueprint? Type a me in the chat if you attended yesterday's session. All right. Vivian, Amelia, Alfred, Melissa. All right. See that many of you have attended the session. So did you get a new perspective on grit, on growth, resilience, insights, and transformation? Great. Yes, Alfred, you did have a new perspective. Now, today for the sixth and final lunch talk session of our 16th anniversary, we're excited to have Whelan, one of our amazing coaches, here with us today. So you'll often find Whelan supporting the swing and trend trading workshops, and he is also a trainer in our upcoming Chinese programs. So please join me in giving a very warm welcome to Whelan. Hi, Whelan.
Hi, Ningshen.
Thank you so much for being with us today.
Sure. Thanks for inviting me for the lunch talk, and
Oh,
thank
yeah,
you for joining.
great. So you have a fan in the chat already. I see Stephanie is rooting for you. All right,
Thanks,
so
thanks, thanks, Stephanie.
we learn as we get started today. Could you share a bit about your background with our students who are here today and how you got started on this journey of trading and investing?
Yeah, sure. So, I actually graduated as a computer games development. So my background was developing computer, but I
Mm,
actually a programmer from a
mhm,
programming perspective. So later part of my life, I moved on to work as a project manager in an MNC advertising firm. But because of all that, right, I actually stayed in KL for about 15 years. However, now I sort of have a location freedom. I actually relocate back to my hometown, Batu Pahat, Johor. That's what my wife and I always wanted to do. So, and I joined BI as a student back pretty long ago, 2014, at 10 years.
mhm.
So with my together with my wife, then we joined as a student. Afterwards, we turn into a student leader, then become a coach, and finally become a staff. And I think the main point I wanted to share today would be like how trading actually propel me into a journey of working in myself. Yeah, be at ease with myself, and ultimately how it actually helps me in my relationship with my wife and my daughter. Yeah.
All right, so that sounds like, it's really impacted many different areas of your life. So, Whelan, could you share with us how that actually happened over time? Because I'm sure, it didn't happen in a blink of an eye. So, how did that evolve over time?
You just made me recall what actually happened like 10 years back.
Uh-huh.
That time, my wife and I actually took up the professional course.
Mm-hmm.
So we finished our Power CFD back then in March. Power
Mm-hmm.
CFD is the current swing and trend trading, by the way. Yeah, so we finished in March CFD. In May, we finished our options. In July, intraday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Then the end of the year, December, is MTV. So I actually mess it all up. There are so many strategy, and it become like my own intra swing trend strategy. Everything together jump all up,
Hybrid.
but not in a good way lah.
Mm-hmm.
Way. Yeah. So because when it's so jumbled up, right, it becomes so complicated. To me, trading become very, very stressful. Wow, whenever I want to place a trade, that time
Mm-hmm.
it's so stressful. How can I make it correct? There are so
Mm-hmm.
many criteria I need to fulfill. Yeah, and I think that time I also have a problem, which is I thought that by learning the theory, I already mastered the skill. So I was very confident to go live. I still remember the first day when I go live, I entered five positions. I follow rules one. Yeah. 5% portfolio risk. Yes, I follow. So I enter five positions.
Uh-huh.
And the thing is that within the day, all five got triggered. Yeah. So I'm very happy. I was like, oh yes, I mastered the
You're in the
skill.
trade, yay.
Yes, I went in already. That point, wow, so nice, right? I stop loss also set very nicely. But the thing is, all five hit stop loss within the next hour. Yeah, that day so happened it's a super bearish day. So I got in, my CFD got in, my option got in. Yeah, I didn't do intraday that time. So all five hit stop loss. And imagine how that feel. uh to me, it's tough lah because that time it was a very big blow to me, not only financially, but I think it impacted me more is emotionally. Something went wrong with my psychology, definitely.
So you mentioned about emotionally you were negatively impacted by this, right? So what kind of emotional impact was that? Can you elaborate a bit more for us?
What I can recall is that at that moment, right, when it happens, right, all five stop loss.
It's like, oh, have that.
Yeah, it's an ouch. And yeah, the, the more is actually I angry. I'm very, very angry. I angry with the market. How come the market didn't go my way? And I think even more is I angry with myself. Yeah, I get very frustrated with myself. Correct, in a single day some more. So I was like, hey, how can I just hit five stop loss within the same day, within the next hour? So I was like, I'm such a failure. That is the thought that actually ran through in my mind. I'm such a failure, and oh, it is really bad. It impacted me psychologically, yeah, very, very bad that time.
So at that time, were you able to, you mentioned about negative self-talk, right? Were you able to realize this negative self-talk was going on in your head immediately? Or, did that take time for you to realize and really investigate this?
Not at that moment actually. At that moment, it's actually come as a feeling, as a I know myself, I'm angry. Yeah, but I can't really spell out what actually inside my mind. It's only it's a hindsight. It's only after that I attending the courses, especially the MTB. Yeah, at year end, then I'm able to raise my awareness and actually look at because in MTB we learn about this concept of self-talk. Yeah, then I realized that, hey, actually the voice inside my brain, I managed to associate it out. Oh, that is the self-talk. Yeah. It's only then I am able to aware that I actually have this self-talk in my brain. Yeah. So I also remember another key things that I learned from the MTV is that I still remember that time my first MTV, Kathleen mentions what do you call it? Expectation not met. Yeah, when expectation not met, frustration come. Yeah, when expectation not met, frustration come. This is
Write
so
that down,
true.
guys. Very important line.
Yes, very important. It is still so true until today, because that is not only in trading, in life, that also happens. Yeah, and then when I reflect about it, it's actually my certainty and need and also the significant need not met. Yeah, when this happened.
So when you mentioned, about your significance need not met, was that how were you meeting it then?
Um, how am I not meeting the needs? Okay, so yeah, because I used to be a winner all this while. When I was a primary school student, secondary school, and when I go through last time the university, so I got good grades without needing to putting much effort. So I think that is I'm considered very lucky, and thank my parents for giving me a brain that is very effective. It's a smooth sailing. So when I encounter the five stop loss, it's actually one of my significant failure in my life. Yeah. So remember in the MTB, we talk about six human needs, right? So one of them is significance need, and also in MTB, I realized that significance need can be fulfilled using a empowering way and disempowering way, and luckily enough, I fulfill my significant need in a very disempowering way. Yeah.
Why do you say luckily enough?
I mean, just want to put a contrast. No, it's not. It's very unfortunate, and I didn't realize that until now. So because I actually have to take time to discover this thing. So how am I this fulfilling in a disempowering way? Is that I realize I actually have this self-talk in my mind, which is if I am the best, then I don't need to learn. If I'm already the best, so why do I still need to learn, right? It's because I still have some place for improvement. That's when I need to learn. That means I'm not the best. So this came from my childhood. Okay, I should say it another way around. It's I who pick up this thought, during my childhood. So and actually it takes me time to realize I have this self-talk. And it takes me another few years to actually admit it and wanted to face it. Yeah. So I think this challenge, right, make me look into my internally, my psychology part. So I actually spent a lot of effort really to look into myself. That day, we did a calculation, my wife and my wife June. So we calculated how much we actually spent in the courses, right? So it totaled up for this whole 10 years, right? About 50K. Yeah, we spent about 50K.
Not just Beyond Insights courses, right? But also other not trading, other psychology courses that you went to really further develop this
Yes, this is on top of the BI courses that we went others. We know that is so important. So we went to attend other courses or psychologically. Yeah.
So I think ultimately, do you find that it's worth it?
It's worthwhile. Yes, it's really worth us every single cent because it has a lot of benefit, but ultimately there's this one thing that I managed to develop, which is I have peace within myself. Yeah. So this is a very, very good feeling because right now, right, I am able to forgive myself, which is when I have a losing trait, I know, okay, it is just a losing trait. There's no more negative thought coming into me. There's no, how can you be so stupid? Those kind of thoughts just it disappear. So it makes my trading become effortless. And on top of that, definitely my relationship with my wife and my child and also become better. I think the most rewarding part is that my relationship with myself is getting better. Yeah.
So thanks, Whelan. Thanks. You know how you describe how trading was so stressful for you from the beginning, and ultimately it's become effortless for you right now, but all because you came to peace with yourself, right? You no longer associate all these results with your personal self-worth. Can I sum it up that way?
Yes, exactly. That's the part.
And all these are really, really subconscious, right? So I really applaud you for really taking the time, the effort to really dig this out and to analyze and change it and give it a better meaning, right? Because remember what Kathleen always says, like, change the meaning, change your life, right? You change the meaning of that loss to you and it changed your perspective.
Yes, you're absolutely correct.
You know, I have a question here from Kaolin Pang. So, Whelan, how do you overcome the self-talk? So I presume you're referring to the negative and disempowering self-talks, right? Because self-talk is by itself, there's no right or wrong because it's just your own thoughts, right? So
Correct.
how do you make sure that it's not negatively affecting you is the key. So Whelan, how would you answer that?
I would say forgive yourself. The part that where the moments that I'm able to do that, the self-talk, right, is actually when I'm able to accept myself. So which is no matter what I do, even though I do bad, even though I lost money in a trade, right, I'm still valuable. I know that I'm still valuable. Yeah. It's when I know say it's easy, yeah, to really internalize it, and when it happens and really feel it that way, that one takes time to practice. And that's the reasons why we attended other courses, and then at the same time, my wife and I would actually keep on practicing. Yeah, practicing. And I find myself this is the sentence that changed me, which is even though I do something bad, even though I get angry over I shouted at my daughter, yes, I know I do the actions, but I'm
Mm.
still a good person. Yes, I'm still worthwhile. I have still have value. The problem is my behavior, not me, not me.
Yes, Cheryl, I remember you have kids as well, right? So, Cheryl, is that something that, I remember you mentioned that yesterday during Terence session as well about identity, about how you can be a loving mother, but still, some of your behaviors may not be what you want to embody as part of this identity.
Yes, yes, definitely. It's that it doesn't affect me. It's just the outcome, which outcome I cannot control. But I'm still valuable. I'm still worthwhile. And
Mm-hmm.
then my mind will change because my focus is what am I going to do about it? Yeah. So I focus on changing my behavior for that. And that is how I actually, when I am able to embrace myself, then it changed. The self-talk, over time, the self-talk actually just melt away. Then I will just focus on what am I going to do about it?
So this applies to both your trading and also your life overall, would you say?
Yes, every
Mm.
corner of my life. Yeah.
See, that's good. That's really inspiring. And Whelan, I remember you mentioned about fear of failure as well. That was something that you struggled with initially. Could you share with our students more about that? Because that is one of the top challenges that students face during their journey, right?
Okay. Yeah. I laugh because it's like it's actually haunted me for so
Mm-hmm.
long. And actually now once in a while it still will haunt me.
Mm-hmm.
So how did I discover that it's actually Ningshan, do you know about the event called MMI, Millionaire Mind Intensive,
Yes,
that we
T
are
half
back?
acre, yes.
Yes.
I've done it.
Yes, so there have this activity. I don't want to spoil it for those
Uh-huh.
who attend. So there's this activity where we need to write down our top challenges. Yeah. And that is when I write down fear of failure. Yeah, I can still see it vividly. So I then break through. Um, to me, right, failure is painful. Definitely. When it happens, right, it is painful. But it's even more painful is the fear of I might have that kind of failure. I might face the failure that
Mm.
actually stops me from doing a lot of things, like from stop me from trading for some times also. Yes. Um, and also it is very crippling because of this fear, I stopped taking on a lot of the opportunity, yeah, in my life and not in trading and many parts. Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
it is that fear itself rather than the failure. The failure is when the failure come, right, it's like 1 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The pain. I'm not saying that the pain is not there. The pain is there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just that after a few minutes, it's gone. But it's the fear of having that pain that stops me. Yeah, a lot.
That's really interesting. And if I were to relate that to trading, is that some people when they either they take away their stop loss or they don't even put a stop loss in the beginning, right? And the price comes down and they don't want to close that position, right? Because the fear of failure, when you close that position, that even that thought is very scary. But yet, when they actually close it, when they've realized that loss, most of the time when what they tell us is that it's actually a sense of relief because that failure, that loss, that result is something that you can deal with, right? You have the ability to deal with it because we have, as humans, we all have the resources we need inside us. But the thought, that fear that you how do you say, like, you in a way like catastrophize it in your mind, right? And you make it you imagine it worse than it could actually be, and that's the scary part.
Yes, exactly. You are absolutely correct because that is the fear makes it so scary. So it is sort of like ignite your imaginations and start to think about a lot of things that can happen. How will my wife talk to me? How will my friends see me? How a
Mm.
lot of how or what could happen. But the thing is, when it being realized, no, it is just number
Yes,
number not in the account. That's it. Yeah.
you
And then
get
after
over it,
it,
right?
but peace of mind, you're just thinking about, okay, what am I going to do about it then?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So by realizing that, by confronting it, you are actually allowing yourself the opportunity to move on to better opportunities.
Yes, correct. And at the same time, save a lot of time.
It's a good
Yeah.
one, yeah. Whelan, when I attended MTB myself, right, I remember one of the videos that we watched in the prerequisites was one where you shared that love and connection is one of your top needs, or your top needs, in fact. And
Yes.
I could really relate to that because it's one of my top two needs as well. So how would you say that the love and connection need has actually helped you along your journey? So for those of you who are not sure what love and connection need is, do watch Terence's sharing from yesterday once the recording is available, because Terence does talk about the 6 human needs as well. So yeah, back to that question, Whelan, how would you say that love and connection need has actually helped you along this journey?
Yeah. So I remember since day one when I do my 6 human needs, right? My top needs is love and connection. So until now, it is still love and connection. So I attended the MTB 10 years ago, and afterwards I become a coach and support so many rounds, right? So did a few rounds. So it is still love and connection need. So how did it actually helps me is to me, I realized that it is very important to have a supportive environment, especially with my wife, with your spouse. For me, yeah, my wife June. So because my wife and I attended a lot of the classes and courses together, and that actually allows us to learn the tool to share about a lot of our inner feeling, especially the deeper one. So, and when we go through the courses together, right? So each of us actually have our own self-healing. Yeah, she has hers and I have mine. But that actually bring us closer together because after the courses, we always sit down, we find a cafe, sit down, and then we have a cup of coffee, then we chit chat. What's my learning? What's her learning? And then we always love to do that. Yeah. Then the next day before we go for the courses, we also sit down again, having coffee. She loves coffee. I don't really like coffee, but I only enjoy the moment of having coffee with her. Then we have chit chat. Yeah. So then we will 1 hour before the class start, we will chit chat about what we learned yesterday, what was the new realization. So we get to share. And when we are able to share, right, actually I understand her better, she understands me better. Yep. And then the other part that things that we learn from MTB is that judgment free, maintain judgment free. I think this one is very important because it actually allows me to share my deepest feeling to her without worrying that how she will see me or how she will judge me. Hey, will I share my weakness? Then she will find that I'm not a reliable people, so she will abandon me. Guy need to face thing, right? We need to appear strong. But the thing is, I remember there was one time when she shared with me that she cannot see me through, she cannot understand me, and that makes her very unsafe, certainty from it. And I was like, why? How? I couldn't understand it. So, but then it's along the way, I start sharing my challenges, especially the challenges that I haven't overcome. I don't have a clue how to do it. I'm still also nervous about it. And she feels safe. I was like, how does it work? So, yes, but it's only later on I realized that, because I share all my challenges, I become more transparent and she can see how I think. Oh, this is how I think. That makes her feel safe. Yeah. So I think after going through so many courses together and then do the sharing and actively working on ourselves, we now really have a two-way communication. Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's really important, right? To be able to come to a common understanding, common perspective with one of your loved ones, one of the most important person in your life. And that's actually one of the reasons we always encourage people, for our students, to attend together with their spouses, their children, their parents. And that's why we have that 50% off discount for your family, right? Because we understand that it's so important to have a supportive and understanding environment as you go through this journey. Because if from the outside, not many people can relate to this, right? The most common thing that they'll ask you after you attend an investing and trading course is, have you made money? And that is
Yes, how much you
actually
make?
so bad for your trading psychology. So have you found that to be true, right? That it's so important to have this supportive and understanding environment with your family.
Yeah, definitely. For me, is definitely
Mm,
worthwhile. And not only the courses itself, but after all
mm,
the courses that we went through together, um, if you ask me if I were to restart everything together, will I take this route? I would say yes, definitely. It is so worthwhile. It is so worthwhile. Yeah. And because we get to be more aligned, then
mm.
there's no struggle in between us, you know. Mm.
I have two questions here in the chat. Let me just quickly take them as well. So Taolin is asking, how long does it take for you to finally think that I am now in a confident position to trade? So I think this relates to what you mentioned earlier, where it becomes effortless for you, right? It's
Yeah.
no longer stressful. So how long did it take for you? And how was that journey like? Can you just describe that on a high level?
Okay, so I think when I face the issue, when I face the challenge by stop loss, right, it's about 2014, end of 2014. End of
Mm,
2014. The moments that where I really feel hey, trading become effortless is by the time 2020. Yeah. Then in between I
that's
got
really
a lot of
true.
concerns.
Doesn't mean that you don't trade in between, but as you trade, you also get a lot more realization, isn't that right?
Yes, it is slowly reducing. Yeah.
Mm,
And at that point when I attended courses already, then that's the switch. Yeah. And when the switch happened, hey, trading actually can become effortless. Now, effortless as in you
mm,
need to put in effort to put in the trade, but it's here inside. Yeah. It doesn't feel a lot of a hurdle or stressful or I need to go into the market to see it, will I fail? All those gone.
mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's not a burden deep inside anymore.
correct.
Mm. So another very important question by Cheryl. So, Whelan, do you or your spouse ever feel that it is a burden to be the listener? Interesting
Burden,
question, Cheryl.
burden to be a listener, to be frank, sometimes definitely tired.
Mm-hmm.
I won't be saying for me it's tired, especially when she has an emotion.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when she is emotion very strong, right? Especially the emotion comes from you, right? If I am the one who caused the emotion, oh, it's very tired. But but tired is one thing. It's one thing. But I really wanted to hear what she has to say because I wanted to understand how she feels.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's the part. Yes, I know it's tiring. So I have to I have to forgive myself. Okay, I caused her the emotion, so I forgive myself. And the moment I forgive myself, I embrace it, right? That burden actually melt away. Then my focus will be, what has she got to say? Yeah, I really wanted to understand her. Then I don't, then I won't have the feeling of that burden.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really, really powerful. I think Joey has a really good one here. So what she does is she asks her partner to ask her instead of did you make money to ask her did you follow the rules. So he's your check buddy, is it, Joey? That's a great one. So all
Oh,
of
that's
you
a good one.
tell your family members, okay, don't ask me, am I making money? Ask me, did I follow the rules? All right, that's all really, really inspiring and empowering. Okay, so as we near towards the end of today's session, we learn if there's just one thing that you hope, or many things that you hope students take away from your story today to apply in both their trading and also personal life, what would it be?
Okay, so my biggest turning point will be in the year 2020. Um,
Mm,
I know that I have issues that I need to overcome. Knowing is one thing, but
mm,
I think it's that time I admit that I have that issue and I need help.
mm,
For guy it's very tough to admit that I need help because guy we got the face issue. The ego is there. Um, but I really want to face it. So it is this, I know, I admit, and I need help. If I could do this earlier, right, I wouldn't have wasted so many years of opportunity. But of course, it is better than never. So
mm,
it's still worthwhile. But because from that point onward, 2020, right, uh, everything that happens, right, externally, actually still doesn't change. Things still there. Stop loss still getting hit. But it's my interpretation towards it. My
mm.
internal already shift. That changed everything. That changed the feeling. Yeah. So one thing that I felt is that, like I mentioned, I can forgive myself. I have more self-worth. My self-worth doesn't dependent on the external world anymore. I know that regardless of what happens, my self-worth is always there. And I become more stable. And when I become stable, I realize that my wife, my daughter become happier. So our relationship in my family, right, actually become more harmonious. Yeah. So it used to feel stressful in trading, but now it's really effortless. And just want to emphasize peace of mind, right? This peace of mind can be developed. It can be developed. Yeah.
So when you say that it can be developed, what kind of encouragement would you give our students to get to this peace of mind? That's something that we really stress on in MTB as well, right? I'm not going to reveal too much, but there's a very important game that has to do with this as well.
Yeah, the game can help. And for me, right, it's only one sentence: continuously working on yourself. Like for me, I continuously working on myself since then until now, and I'm going to do this for the rest of my life, definitely. There's so much to learn. So, and one more thing is that especially be mindful. Yeah, be mindful, be aware of what I be aware of what I say, yeah, what I think, what I feel. Yeah. So be mindful about that. And I really appreciate this journey because I started off as attending a financial course, if we all inside to learn about stock trading, but I ended up going into a journey of self-discovery. Yeah, that's why since day one, my wife and I really like one quote from the BI, which is trading is the journey of character building. And this is the journey really worth embarking upon. Yeah, it's really rewarding, super fulfilling and satisfying journey. Yeah, that I will definitely go through if you ask me again.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Whelan, for today's very, very inspiring journey, because this really just shows how it can go beyond investing and trading, right? It really impacts different and all areas of our lives, because how we do anything is how we do everything. So thank you everyone for being part of today's session. I really hope Whelan has inspired you to reflect upon your own journey as well, and encourage you to look at how this can also help in different areas of your life to ultimately transform yourself for the better. So I mean, we sincerely believe that trading is and investing is a skill that you can use for the rest of your life, right? So before we wrap up, we'd like to thank all of you for staying through today's session. This is the final lunch talk session, and we truly appreciate your dedication. And now for something fun, a live lucky draw, right? The live lucky draw. So we will be drawing for, let's see what we'll be drawing first. Drum roll. We'll be drawing for the 300 ringgit voucher. Let's see who's the lucky winner. Oh, Mark Yufat. Oh, I see you in almost every session, Yufat. Yufat, are you here? Type a me if you're here in the chat, Yufat. Yep, Yufat. All right, congratulations. Okay, now let's go for our next draw. Right, 500 ringgit voucher, the big prize. Chi Kwan, are you here, Chi Kwan? Chi Kwan, type a me if you're here. Yes, all right, congratulations, Chi Kwan, 500 ringgit voucher. All right, and last is Kang Kim Huat. Kim Huat, are you here? Kim Huat, are you here? If you are here, type a me in the chat so that we know you're here. Okay, Kim Huat, type a me in the chat. Otherwise, we will have to redraw, unfortunately. Okay. Let's redraw then. Oh, okay. Kim Huat is here. Okay, no need to redraw. All right. Congratulations, Kim Huat, and also to all of our winners for today. So you can expect to receive your vouchers by email shortly. All right. And as a reminder for everyone who has attended yesterday's session as well, there is a 16th anniversary iPhone 16 draw for anyone who enrolls in any of the Master Trader Bootcamp programs or the Industry Insights and Macro Insights programs from 3rd of October to 3rd of November, all right? Just need to come for the live draw on 28 November to stand a chance to win your iPhone 16 and bring it home. All right, so thank you everyone for this session. Our last session for our 16th anniversary will be with Kathleen on 2nd of November. It'll be the Enriching Insights with Kathleen, where we'll explore more about macro, industry, and also company insights, right? So we truly look forward to seeing you there. So do block your dates for that. It will be at 2 p.m. in the afternoon on Saturday, 2nd of November. All right, thank you everyone for being here. And we look forward to seeing you for the next session. Thank you, everyone. Take care. And thank you, Whelan, of course, and also Janice and Hannah on the back end. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Have a nice day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.